Have you ever been around someone who's, incredibly charming one minute and then totally dismissive or defensive the next? It is so confusing, and honestly, it can be emotionally exhausting. All right, let's dive into this and really unpack what's driving that behavior.
This is the experience that trips so many of us up. On the surface, you see this incredible confidence, right? This charisma that can just pull you in. But then there's the other side, the defensiveness if you challenge them, the manipulation to get what they want, the way they can just dismiss your feelings. It honestly feels like you're dealing with two completely different people.
So yeah, what is really going on? It's a natural question to ask. If you're feeling that kind of emotional whiplash from these interactions, believe me, you are not alone. What's the logic behind this totally frustrating paradox?
And here it is. This is the absolute key that reframes everything. That behavior you're seeing, it isn't coming from a place of genuine strength. It's actually driven by a deep, hidden insecurity. It's a defense mechanism, not a real display of self-assurance.
Okay, so let's peel back that shiny layer of confidence they put on. Let's get right into the why, the psychological drivers that explain why these patterns just keep showing up.
At the very heart of all of this is an incredibly fragile sense of self. Despite all the outward arrogance, there is often this intense internal fear of being seen as inadequate, as worthless. That grand exterior, it's just armor, built to protect a really vulnerable core. And this leads us to a really key concept called narcissistic supply. Think of it like fuel for a car. To keep that fragile self-image propped up, they need a constant stream of validation from the outside world. Praise, admiration, even getting a rise out of you. Without that fuel, their sense of self feels threatened and can actually start to crumble.
This slide just illustrates it perfectly. Admitting to feelings like fear or insecurity, oh no, that feels way too risky for them. So instead, those vulnerable emotions get hidden behind this massive shield of arrogance, control, and defensiveness. It's like a preemptive strike to stop anyone from seeing them as weak.
And all of this leads to these other key behaviors we see. That struggle with empathy is because their focus is almost entirely on their own self-preservation. The need for control, that's all about preventing situations where they might get exposed. And any criticism, no matter how tiny, feels like a direct assault on their entire self-worth, which is why it triggers such an aggressive defense.
Okay, so we've covered the why behind the behavior. Now, let's pivot and talk about the impact it has on the people around them, on you, because understanding this part is the first step toward protecting yourself. If these feelings look familiar, well, there's a good reason. Dealing with this kind of behavior almost always leaves you questioning yourself, feeling completely drained of energy, and feeling like you can't say or do anything right. That feeling of walking on eggshells is a classic sign. It's an exhausting experience that can really erode your own confidence over time.
So here's the most important part. You can't control their behavior, but you absolutely can control your response. So now let's get practical. Let's talk about a toolkit you can use to manage these really difficult interactions.
This is your roadmap. So let's walk through it. First up, set clear boundaries. Be direct, be firm, and this is key, be consistent. Number 2, try to stay neutral. Avoid big emotional reactions because that can be the supply they're looking for. Calm is your superpower here. Third, recognize the pattern for what it is. Understanding helps you take it less personally. Fourth, and this one is huge, build your own confidence. A solid sense of self-worth is your best shield against manipulation. Fifth, it's okay to limit contact. Creating distance to protect your energy is not selfish, it's necessary. And finally, number 6, focus on you. Remember, you cannot fix them, so focus on what you can control, and that is your own well-being.
So after everything we've looked at, the deep insecurity, the defense mechanisms, the impact, it all boils down to one fundamental priority for you.
This right here is your mantra. It's not about fighting them or fixing them or proving yourself. It's about these 3 powerful steps. Understand what's really driving them so you don't take it so personally. Set firm boundaries to keep yourself safe, and make your own inner peace the #1 goal.
So let's make this real. Forget about trying to change everything all at once. Just think about this. What is one small, clear boundary you can either set or maybe just reinforce this week to start protecting your own well-being? Because that's where the real power begins.